Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Kim and I'm glad that you have found your way here and that you're looking to move a little bit. Today's practice is meant for those moments in your day where you start to feel a little bit sluggish, and it's a short, sweet little practice. You'll be able to sneak away, get in some movement, some lengthening, some opening, and then sneak back into your day without losing too much time. So I hope you enjoy it. Today's practice is going to be entirely standing. So we won't really be using any props. Of course, if you want to keep them by the mat, then you can, and jump into some comfy clothes, and I will see you there. All right, so we're going to get started in today's practice standing at the top of our mat. So bring your feet hips distance apart, and I'm actually going to face you to do this. Feet are hips distance apart and parallel. And we're going to start by really grounding down into the soles of our feet. So pushing into the soles of your feet, lift your toes up and begin to spread them as wide as possible. And this is not a very natural movement because our toes are kind of squished into shoes all day long. So this can almost be a little bit uncomfortable as you try to widen your toes as much as possible. Try to feel air flowing in between your toes, and then gently with your toes spread, let them squish back down onto the mat. And feel how much area you're covering with your feet and your toes. It's almost as though you're gripping the mat with your feet. And let that create a solid base. From there, you're going to feel this lengthening that's going to come up through your legs, up through your spine, and then the crown of your head is lifting up toward the ceiling. Now, as we do this, you might notice that your core has to be engaged in order to lengthen out through your body. And that's exactly what we're looking for, because sometimes when we're standing, we tend to lose that engagement, and you can kind of note that your shoulders slump and your belly kind of goes forward. So we're looking to keep everything engaged in our core. Imagine you've got like a string attached to your belly button, and it's pulling back toward your spine. So everything in the center of your body is staying really intact, really integrated. And without losing this integration, without losing this activation, begin to softly bend your knees, because as we're standing up straight, the tendency is also to lock your legs, and we want to maintain a little bit of buoyancy in the body. So keeping your knees bent, activating your core, allowing the crown of your head to grow up toward the ceiling, but at the same time letting your shoulders relax and pull slightly back. Let your arms relax by your side and maintain this activation in your body, pushing firmly down into your feet, feeling the crown of your head growing tall toward the ceiling, and gently allow your eyes to close. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose. And imagine with every inhale that you're deeply pulling into your lungs. The crown of your head is growing up toward the ceiling. And then as you exhale out of your nose, imagine that your feet are becoming even weightier onto the ground. So it's as though your body is lengthening in two directions. It's not just growing tall, but it's also grounding down further and further into the ground. Feeling your belly button pulling in as you inhale, crown of your head growing up toward the ceiling, relaxing your shoulders and softening your face. We don't need to be too serious here. And then exhaling out of your nose and feeling how your feet push even more down. This time, one more inhale into your nose, filling up your lungs, feeling your chest expand. And this time, opening your mouth and exhaling everything out through your mouth. Then begin to gently blink your eyes open. And on an inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. Still lengthening, keeping your core engaged. And on an exhale, bring your interlaced fingers behind your head and placing them where your neck and your head meet. From here, keeping a soft bend in your knees, gently activate your head, pushing it back toward your hands, widen your elbows as much as possible, and inhale to lift your heart up toward the sky. So we're looking to lengthen here, and we don't want any compression in our lower back. Keep widening your elbows, lifting your heart up. Don't worry about trying to bring your head back. Just look up in the direction that your heart is pointing. And then as you exhale, begin to open your arms, lengthen as much as you can between your two hands, and then sweep your arms forward, crossing your arms and giving yourself a little hug. Let your chin drop toward your chest, and you can start to open your upper back and imagine that space in between your shoulder blades is being lifted up toward the ceiling here. So still keeping a soft bend in your knees, but really opening that space in your upper back between your shoulder blades. On the next inhale, sweep your arms open again, lifting your heart up to the sky. And exhale, interlace your fingers right behind your tailbone and keep a soft bend in your elbows. Again, grounding down into your feet, begin to look up toward the ceiling, pull your shoulders back, and on an inhale, your hands are going to start to move toward the ground as you lift your heart. So think about the space that you're creating, the distance that you're creating between your heart and your hands. You can lengthen your throat and look up toward the ceiling if that feels good. And then keeping that soft bend in your knees, lifting your heart up on your next exhale, begin to fold yourself forward. So lengthening your heart forward before you fold, and then beginning to allow your arms to drop over you as you gently allow the crown of your head to make its way down toward the mat. Again, keep a soft bend in your knees here, really important. We don't want to hyperextend the legs. And allow your fingers to be soft. So check in that you're not grasping on for your dear life with your hands. Allow them to be loosely intertwined. And try to soften your face and keep that soft, slow breathing in and out through your nose. Begin to release your hands and gently bring your hands down onto the ground beneath your shoulders. On an inhale, lift yourself up, lengthen your spine. We're not going to stay here. Exhale, lift your right foot and sweep your right foot toward the back of the mat, coming down onto your toes and then onto your knee. On an inhale, bring your hands up toward the ceiling into low lunge, keeping your legs activated. So you can bring your right knee onto a towel or a cushion, or you can even fold your mat up under your right knee if this is a little bit too hard. So you always have that option, but try to activate your right knee, dragging it on the ground and dragging it forward as your left heel is dragging back. So you can feel this activation. It's going to help square your hips. Now from here, softly bring your left hand to the top of your left thigh and inhale, find some space between your right knee and your right hand as you reach your right fingertips up toward the sky. And then exhale, gently bring your right hand over you toward the left, looking up to the sky, or if it helps with balance, you can look down to the ground and fix your gaze on a point. It'll help with stability. You can push into your left hand to kind of keep yourself from dumping too much forward into your thigh. So trying to bring your belly away from your left thigh. That's going to go more intensely into your right hip flexor. And then inhaling for length, you're exhaling to gently bring your right hand a little bit farther over to the left. Inhale, come back to center, both hands up toward the sky. Exhale, coming forward and taking a little step forward with your right foot up next to your left. Inhale, lengthening, lifting your body halfway. And then exhale, going to the other side. So sweeping your left leg back, coming onto left toes and onto left knee. Inhale, coming up into low lunge. Again, we're looking to activate our legs, keep our hips squared. And then exhale, right hand gently onto right knee. Finding space on the next inhale between your left fingertips and your left knee, and then exhaling, starting to gently let your left hand drop over toward the right. So this is a really good lengthening out of your left side body. Looking up toward the sky, or if it feels more secure and stable, you can look down to a fixed point on the ground beside you. Trying to gently push into your right hand to also let your belly activate and pull away from your thigh. So it's not your thigh that's holding you up, it's your core that's holding you up. One more inhale. Exhale, dropping in a little more. And then inhaling, both hands up. And exhaling, both hands come forward. Lift your left knee and take a little step forward. Here we're going to interlace our fingers right at that point of the nape of your neck, so where your neck and your head meet, just like we did before. And this time, keep your elbows in toward your temple. Softly bend your knees, pressing into your feet. And on a long inhale, you're going to roll yourself up, inhaling all the way up. Last thing that lifts is your chin away from your chest as you open your heart up toward the sky, widening your elbows and trying to look to lengthen your spine as much as possible upwards. Exhale, release your arms, bring them out to the side, and bring your palms to meet in front of your heart. From here, inhale, lift your right foot and bend your right leg in front of you. So finding balance, standing on your left foot. You can make a few circles with your right ankle and find a fixed point on the ground in front of you. It's going to help with your balance and keep your fluid, deep breathing. Now, begin to pull your heel in toward your bum as you start to drop your right knee toward the ground. So your foot coming by your right butt cheek and your right knee is pointing down. Softly begin to push your heart into your thumbs as you begin to lengthen your right leg behind you and see how slow you can go. If this feels too unstable, then you can bring your hands down to the ground. If this feels okay, begin to reach your hands forward, turn your right foot at a 45 degree, and we're going to softly bring our right foot down, toes first, and then the foot in a 45 degree angle at the back of the mat. Left knee aligned above your left ankle. As you inhale, turn into warrior two. So checking your alignment, your right foot at the back of the mat, 45 degree angle, and your left knee above your left ankle. From here, try to look for a little fluidity as we inhale, right hand to right thigh, lifting your left hand up, reverse warrior. On an exhale, you're going to come forward, left forearm to left thigh, and lengthen your right arm over your right ear. And then back. So inhaling as we come into reverse, try to stay bent into your left leg. And then exhale to come forward. It's like a little dance. Inhale, coming back. Your left thigh might be protesting. Try to stay with it. And then exhale as we come forward. Inhale, this time, lengthen your left leg. It's what it wants to do anyway as you bring your left arm behind you. And then turn your left foot so your feet are parallel. And you're going to bring your left hand to the ground in front of you. Now, you might want to walk your feet a little bit closer together. That's completely fine. Try to really push into the outside of both of your feet. Now, from here, your right fingertips make their way up toward the sky. You can keep your left hand on the ground right below your head, or you can take your left hand to the outside of your right calf and get a little bit of a deeper twist. So trying to turn and gaze in the direction of your right hand, but without creating any stress on your neck. Just softly breathe into this. If you'd like, you can also bring your right hand and place it on your right tailbone. On your tailbone. I think we have just one, but soften your face. And then on an inhale, begin to look toward the back of your mat. Bring your hands down toward the back of the mat and turn your feet both to point toward the back of the mat. From here, inhale, you're going to walk your left foot up next to your right. And exhale, forward fold. Interlace your fingers right at the nape of your neck, elbows by your temples. Inhale, roll yourself up to standing, widen your elbows, pushing your heart up to the sky and trying to get some space in your chest, opening up your heart. On an exhale, opening your arms and then bringing your hands into prayer in front of your heart. From here, begin to gently push weight into your right foot, lift your left leg. So your left leg is bent in front of you. You might take a few circles with your left ankle, looking to find stability. Grounding into your right foot. Now inhale, and on your next exhale, you're going to softly bring your left heel in toward your bum. Your left knee is going to begin to point toward the ground, and push your heart forward into your thumbs as you lengthen your left leg back, and see how slowly you can do this. So have fun with it, explore, challenge yourself. You can bring your hands to the mat, or you begin to lengthen your arms forward, turn your left foot, 45 degrees, and gently bring it down at the back of the mat. Opening your arms in a T to come into warrior two. So checking your alignment, your right knee directly aligned above your right ankle, and your left foot at a 45-degree angle at the back of your mat. Distance between your hands. On your next inhale, left hand to your left thigh, right hand up to the sky, reverse. And then exhaling, bringing your right forearm to your right thigh as you open up and lengthen through your left arm. Inhale, come back up, and keep the movement going with your breath as you exhale to sweep your left arm over you. Feel that length in your left side body. Inhale, coming back up and trying to stay bent into your right leg. And then exhale as you find length again. Left arm above your head. This time as you inhale, lengthen your right leg. Left hand to left thigh, lift your right hand above you. And then exhale, you're going to bring your right foot to be parallel to the left and your right hand to the ground beneath your head. Inhale, rotating to the left fingertips up toward the sky. And then exhale, you can stay here, or you might look to take the outside of your left thigh or your left calf with your right hand and get a little bit deeper into this rotation. Left hand can come to your tailbone. And try to play around here with pulling your right hip a little more to the right. Keeping a soft bend in your knees here. And then looking down toward the mat. Walk your hands to the top of the mat and bring your right foot up to meet your left foot at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Take a couple of deep breaths here, the crown of your head sinking down toward the mat. You can kind of sway back and forth. And then from here, with your hands on the ground, begin to heel toe your feet the distance of your mat, so the width of your mat. And you're going to have your toes pointing out and your heels pointing in. coming down into malasana, so squatting down, bringing your bum toward the ground, and you might find your heels stay lifted here, and that's fine. You can keep your hands on the ground. If you feel stable and your heels come to the ground, then you might want to consider lifting yourself up, lengthening your spine up, and pushing your elbows into the inner part of your knees to get a little bit more deeply into your hips. Gently bring your hands back down, lift your hips, heel toe your feet back to the center. And then from here, bending your knees softly, interlacing your fingers at the nape of your neck, and inhaling, elbows by your temple. One last time, we're going to roll up to standing, opening your elbows, lifting your heart to the sky. And then exhaling, opening your arms and sweeping them forward to come into prayer. Now look again for that grounding sensation in your feet. So looking for a lot of stability here. Soft bend in your knees. Feel the crown of your head making its way toward the ceiling, and try to see if you have a little bit more opening now compared to when we first started. Allow your eyes to drop closed and take a couple of deep breaths here. If you prefer, you can also let your arms drop down by your side. Let your shoulders relax. Let your face soften. Allow yourself to just fully be absorbed in this exact moment. Really feeling the here and now. Feeling this connection to your body, this connection into the earth, into the ground. And after your next exhale, begin to take a deep inhale into your nose, really feeling all of the space that you've created, that you're filling up with air. And then relaxing your face, relaxing your shoulders. Exhale everything out of your mouth. And with a little smile on your face, you can begin to blink your eyes back open. And I thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you come away from this short, sweet little practice with a little bit more space in your body and a little bit more lightness in your heart. And I hope that you have a beautiful day.